Hey there. Alright, this is going to be video number 10 and we're going to talk about the broker data. Alright, now the broker data is going to be just a short video, a brief overview, because for the most part you don't really need to use it, but I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and use broker data. Alright, now what is broker data? Well, when you download the MT4 MetaQuotes platform for the first time, the data that you receive is just default data. It derives from the MetaQuotes platform itself. Okay. It doesn't come from places like FXCM or FX Pro or FX Open or anyone like that. Okay, so what you need to do is we need to go over to the tools area and then choose the history center, or press F2 on your keyboard. Okay, and then you will get a list of all the currency pairs that you actually have currently open. Alright, now what you want to do here, okay, is when you double click on the currency pairs, you'll see that there's actually nothing in there. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to, well, there is some now, it's just being populated. Alright, but that's being populated with the current data that's already stored on the MetaQuotes platform. Alright, but when you want to really import the true set of data, you need to ask your broker for their previous currency pair data going back from the very first day that they opened, when they first started their services. Some brokers, especially offshore brokers, when you're contacting their customer supports, they're not very familiar with the terminology that you're using, or they're just not really 100% fluent with the English language. So your best bet would be to speak to the manager or maybe to the trading desk if they don't understand what you're saying. And then if they turn around and say to you, or if they do understand and they turn around and say to you, sorry, we don't have the history data that you're speaking of, they're lying. Okay, every broker has previous data, so you ask them specifically, say, look, I want your previous data, please. All right, and keep on at them, keep on at them. And if they still turn around and say no, say, well, look, I need this data because I want to open an account with you soon and I want to put $50,000 to $100,000 in there, but I need to make sure that the data is correct with your brokerage. Alright, so that's the number way you can get around it, because a lot of these brokers are very greedy people. Alright, so they will do anything if they know that you're going to put money in with them. But as I say, for the most part, you don't really need to use this data. This data is only really used for people that are doing a lot of intensive background research, previous research from the previous months and years, and robots you will use this data. So from broker to broker, it's always going to have different kinds of data sets. You can't use one broker data set and import it into another broker data set. Like, for instance, you can't use FX Open's history data and import it into FX Pro's history data, because they're going to have different spreads. When they start the trading stations, when they start their servers up again, at different times. I mean, there are some brokers that only start their trading stations at 11 p.m. of a Sunday, or 12 midnight of a Sunday, Monday morning. Alright, so it always varies, and plus their spreads are going to be different as well from broker to broker. So you need to make sure that you're using the right data if you're going to be using Forex robots. Alright, so that is that area there. Alright, so really there isn't really much more that we can discuss about this information, other than you can just click on the download button here and you can read over this section that actually does say what I've just mentioned, that the MetaQuote Software Corporation is where you're actually downloading this data from, and it's not coming from FX Open Inc., and therefore any data that you download from MetaQuote Software Corporation, and if you make any open trades or stuff like that and you try to query a particular point in time when you use the data to try and make a trade off, they won't compensate you if the trade come out wrong. Alright, but so anyways, as I say, for the most part, that's all you really need to know. Alright, so until then, we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.